All right, guys, a little windy out here, but this is the Insta360 X5. That's a mouthful. First time I ever did a review on the 360 cameras. We're gonna test this bad boy out here, and we're gonna see if this is all it's cracked up to be. Apologize if the wind noise is too much for us here, but we're gonna give this a shot. And the first thing that bothers me about the X360 cameras that I've heard about is the editing. It just seems like a lot to do, a lot of workflow challenges, and you got to add this extra that. So I'm gonna let you know at the end of this video how that all went, and if that all was good, and how that whole situation turned out. But now, right now, I'm shooting on 8K through 30 frames per second. I got the new adaptive tone on, so I did all the firmware updates. So obviously, when I'm in the sun, it looks like the adaptive tone is fine, you know, like this. But if I go into a backlit scene, it kind of darkens a little bit, but it still looks okay. What do you think? All right, this is 8K 30 frames per second on the Insta360. And the one good thing is you can reframe these things, so I can do B-roll at the same time. And that was the advantage that I'm kind of looking like. Instead of taking multiple shots, you know, with one camera, you can just do one take with this, I'm hoping, and we will see how this works out. And I can get my B-roll from the reframing the 360 video. I know it sounds kind of confusing, so that's why I kind of wanted to give this a shot. You know, this is what I was talking about. It looks like I'm really dark right now, but this is a really hard shot. Now, the video on this is what I'm really concerned about, okay? Is it gonna be usable for my case, and is the workflow gonna be too much? So let's test another mode and see what that looks like. I'm gonna test the Instaframe mode and see what that looks like, because that's where it does the... Here's a quick note. The gesture, watch that one, because I raised my hand up and it stopped recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and try the Instaframe mode, which basically allows me to have me facing the camera, and that's always gonna be the goal, is that you see me. And then apparently it'll also do the 360. Now, this is my first time, so I'm gonna give you this as I'm trying this thing out as a first time. You're a first user. Is this thing gonna be worth it, worth the trouble of learning it? And it is different. It's different than like the Pocket 3 or these other cameras. So is the benefits gonna outweigh the cost? That's the question. So let's go ahead and we'll check out Instaframe mode. This is 8K, 30 frames per second. Let's go on Instaframe mode. And that's only gonna allow 1080p face-to-face, but it's still gonna do the 360 in 5.7K. All right, got it in linear mode, so it will look a little bit better here. Should anyways, on the Instaframe. Now we're got the backlit situation, so obviously doing pretty good, because it is bright as the sun out here, obviously. So let me see if we can get out of the deep dark sun here just a little bit. Do a little back walk in here. Well, this is Instaframe, so we can see exactly what this looks like. This is face-to-face, so apparently I can do this and just post it and not have to worry about doing all the reframing and things like that. So we shall see. We shall see about that. But this looks too dark really on my face right now. So I'm not really liking that. Not really liking that. So there we go. This is the Instaframe, and the 360 video around it. I can show you that so you can see what that looks like. I'll hit some shade here. This is probably some ideal conditions. A little windy out here, so I apologize. I really do apologize for this wind. But this is the Instaframe. And how's this look, guys? At the end of this, I'm gonna go through all this, and I'm gonna let you know my thoughts and let you know if this thing is worth the weight in gold here. Cool thing is, stick's got, oh, look at that. So I can turn this thing around anywhere and it keeps me in the frame. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so when you do this Instaframe, this is just a handheld here. If you do this Instaframe thing, I can turn the camera all the way around 100%, and it just keeps me where I am, no matter what. That is pretty cool, I gotta say. It's pretty nifty, pretty nifty. How's the video look? That's the question. How does the video look? All right, guys, first, now this is the testing out the 5.7K, which is the highest one you can do active HDR and the adaptive tone on. So it's adaptive tone and active HDR. So when you're like against bright sun and stuff like that, it actually is doing a good job. It looks like on the screen. So as you can see, it's kind of doing both. So this is 5.7K. So in super bright lights, if you're going to have backlit, then you can use this. But if you're going to just kind of face the sun, then you probably don't need both. It's probably overexposing right now. I would think. But this is what the 5.7K looks like with both those options on. How's that look? 5.7K. Obviously, it's pretty stable. This is with the selfie stick, okay? So if I'm gonna go out with the selfie stick, obviously I'm not reframed anymore, but it shouldn't matter because it's a 360. I'm just gonna have to reframe it in post because I'm not looking at the camera anymore. So we'll see what works, see what happens. But this is 5.7K, guys. Let's give this a test on Insta360 Max. So this is the stick. All right, this is kind of cool. So it has a little. I'll show you on the big camera too. But see, it's got the tripod. It comes out and it goes up, so you can stick on the tripod and you can walk around it or whatever. So that's kind of a cool gig. It's kind of a cool gig. So just wanted to show you the stick so you can see what that looks like. Right now, this is handheld. This looks actually better than using the stick, honestly. It's a little closer up. This is probably what I should do. Or I could use the stick and just keep it closer, but hey guys, just testing this out. Like if you were using this new, I mean, you got to kind of start from somewhere, right? How do you work it? It's a process, right? So you got to be willing to invest time into it if this is something that you want to do, right? If you want to get the 360 realm, I'll let you know if it's worth it or not. I prefer like the Pocket 3 or the regular cameras because I guess I'm used to them, you know. It took time to learn those, and I did learn those and got used to those. But this is something new, but that's what makes it fun, right? Trying something new, trying something different, see if you can get some cool shots and seeing what's up. So. And also there's a button on here too. You can hit this button and it goes boop, and it shows you the alternative view. So you can see the other end of the camera. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I have it on the selfie stick on there. And that's kind of cool, that little stick thing. It's a tripod and a selfie stick. But how's this look, guys? This is just me and you, talking head type thing. Mono a mono. Hope it doesn't blow over. Hopefully the wind's not too much for it. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out what this thing sounds like. And we'll go from there. But screen's on, it's pretty nice. It does a job, touch screen. Not too many problems with that. The audio, we're about to find out what that sounds like. And it's kind of windy out here, so we'll check that out. And I'm going to let you know post here what I thought of this, the user experience of this. I even took a picture of it, to see how that worked out with the 360 picture, and that was pretty cool. I'll throw that up on the screen. This is extended out, not going straight out from there. It's I don't know, almost a 4-foot stick, I guess. And I'm walking around, and I can reframe it and see what this looks like. I'm holding it straight up. I'm kind of aiming it at myself somewhat, just kind of straight out. Now I'm going straight out. I'm moving around, so I don't know, just moving things around just to see how it operates when you're. No, because it's 360. You should be doing 360. So I'm gonna see if it warps me and all this stuff. See what's up. See what this looks like. This is with the way extended out, so I don't know why I would really do this. You know, I'd much rather have it extended down in front of my face like that, personally. But I just wanted to kind of give it a test. All right, after looking through all the footage and editing it and going through and getting to the very end, I now have my conclusions on the 360 X5. So Let's start with the cons. One of the cons is the file sizes are actually pretty large. The exporting is pretty quick, actually, but transferring it over from your 360 into your computer, I mean, you can do it on your phone, but I found, of using both, I found it's easier to do it on the desktop, because that's the way I do my editing anyways for the final videos that I do for my YouTube channel. So the file sizes are actually pretty big on 8K, even though they don't come out looking like 8K because it's 360. They're pretty big if you use 8K, but I mean, if you got the storage space, that's not that big of a deal. It just takes a little bit longer to transfer the files. The second con is it actually gets hot pretty fast. So when I was using it, I found that, I mean, it was getting hot right away. I mean, it never overheated, no warnings or anything. But it goes hot. Like when I was doing took it off the stick and I was holding it, it was pretty warm. It was really pretty warm. Or inside when you're charging it or using it, when I was updating it, the firmware and stuff, it got pretty hot. So I'm not sure if you'd have a problem with that or not. I didn't have any problems, but I didn't run it for 2 hours straight either, you know, little 10-minute clips and that's it. So, I mean, take that if you will, but it does get hot, just to let you know. And of course, the third most important, most hurtful one is the editing. It's not, you can do the Insta frame, the selfie, and you can kind of just, if you want something quick and just upload it right up, like into YouTube kind of thing. But that's not really my flow, just to take like a quick 30-second thing and just throw it up there. I go through it and I edit it a little bit. So for me, it is an extra step in the workflow of editing, and I don't really like that. But on the flip side, at first it was frustrating, but it kind of was fun after, because one thing that you get is you can take one take and get 4 or 5 different videos from one video, right? And it's weird to wrap your head around because I've always used these regular cameras, right? You frame it, you get what you get, and you don't throw fit. But whatever's behind me, whatever's on the sides of me, you're not gonna ever know it unless I turn the camera that way. But in the 360, you realize like, hey, okay, I did the selfie thing when I was speaking, but at any time I can change it and look any other direction and see what's going on. Like there was one time that car had passed, that blue car, and I swooped it around and I could track the car. And I thought that was kind of cool. And I could actually see who was in it. You know, it'd be like when I was doing the vlog, I didn't notice who was in it or anything. But, you know, afterwards I looked back and like, oh, wow, look at that. You can see behind you. It's kind of weird, you know. It's kind of weird to wrap your head around, but that's kind of a cool thing. So it's kind of fun in that regard. The dynamic range is pretty crazy. Like my ZV-1 and a lot of the bigger cameras, when you get into those high dynamic range type scenarios on auto, it takes a long time to, you know, get darker or get lighter, you know, to adjust for that. But man, the 360, even on the screen that one time, a couple times, it looked like, man, my face was kind of dark, you know. But it said that the preview wouldn't come out as good as it does when it's exported, which is also true. So what you're seeing on the screen will look okay, but it actually looks better when you export. When they're all done editing it and you ship it off, when you ship it off, put maximum bit rate in the 200 maximum bit rate with the 4K export, and it didn't take too long. I was like 6 videos, 7 of them, I think, but it didn't take too long. And it was actually really windy out, so the sound was actually really good, considering, because they got that built-in, I was looking at why it sounded good still, was they have a built-in, you know, like the Dead Cats. It was built in underneath where the speaker is. So actually, the on-mic camera system is pretty good. As windy as it was, that would have totally decimated my ZV-1 without the Dead Cat on, right? So that's why you gotta have a Dead Cat on these things. You know, the action cameras, they usually don't fare too well without the Dead Cat on there, but it actually sounded pretty good. And you, of course, can get the 360 Air, the little mic Air. I might consider that, we'll see. And the angles, one thing I didn't like, or was a con for me, is I saw a lot of the videos on that everyone else was doing, and they're wide, which is good. I like to be able to get wide, but sometimes they're too wide. Right? I thought, man, they're just so warped. I didn't like that. But when you edit them, right, you can select linear, or you can change that. So you don't have to have it all look all crazy, willy nilly. Like there's a banana around everywhere you go. You know what I mean? It's like, so, and I found that I could just zoom in where I wanted to, where I was comfortable, and you could put it on linear, and then you kind of adjust it how you want, and then the face tracking and editing, or the location lock, or whatever it's called, and it'll kind of lock it in position wherever you go, kind of, for the most part. It didn't take too long. It took a little time to get used to, but once you get used to the keyframe, you do a keyframe, then you edit. You do a keyframe, and you edit. It's faster than I thought it was, but you don't have to do. You could, like, half of them, I just did a keyframe from the beginning to the end, and that was it. And I just kind of had it locked on me. But there's a couple times I let it do its thing, and I wanted to do something else and move it around, which was pretty cool. But you could take one video and have it all selfie, and you could take that same video then and readjust that video to look at something totally different, 2 or 3 different angles, and re-export that, and it looks like 2 different videos, but it was only shot one time because that's 360. So that is the benefit, and I didn't really get that till I put time into it, and I figured out, it does have a place. I think I'm going to keep it. I think it's got a place. I think it can replace like my Pocket 5, honestly, because I can do the linear if I want, but I have the ability. It is a little more in the workflow, but I think it's worth it because I can see everything around me. Nothing will be missed, which is really cool. So once you can kind of grasp that, yeah, I think I like that. So there's my stick, right? That's pretty cool. So there's my stick. That's pretty cool. You just lift that up, you plop it down, bring this down, and I'm recording. Didn't mean that. There you go. So the 360, guys, there it is. The X360 X5. Pretty cool camera. I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna kind of integrate it here and there, and I think it's gonna replace my Pocket 5. Maybe not replace, but it definitely has a use case because it's still waterproof. You can replace the lenses. Yeah, it's actually fun because I didn't think I was gonna like it. I tried it briefly before, but I was like, no, it's too much work. But once you put a little learning into it, just like these cameras, once you start learning, it becomes more fun. But there is a place for these. It is fun. They are fun. So my final thoughts, it's definitely recommended. If it's between this or a regular action camera, if you want quicker, just you shoot what you get and that's all, go with one of those because that's quicker. But if you're willing to put a little bit more time in, these can be fun. These can be really fun, guys. Yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you have one of these? Have you used one of these? What are your thoughts on it? I just thought I'd give you my unsponsored review on this. Paid for with my own hard-earned money, of course. It's a cool camera, man. It's a cool camera. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a good day.